Du nouveau à Minneapolis, Tempo Afrique Travel. Vous voulez voyager? Achetez vos billets d'avion à l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel. Avec l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel, pas de problème de connexion, pas de problème de transfert de vol. Avec l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel, c'est le voyage en toute tranquillité, en toute beauté, de votre maison jusqu'à votre destination. Votre satisfaction est notre plaisir.
Votre attention s'il vous plaît. IPTV Services. Tempo Afrique TV vous offre 6000 chaînes de télévision en direct de l'Afrique, de l'Europe et des États-Unis. Toutes vos chaînes de télévision préférées sous un seul toit. Pour des informations, appelez le numéro suivant +1 612 804 02 95 ou allez sur notre site web tempoafrique.com. Achetez maintenant $193 pour toute l'année, plus l'expédition et le TV Box.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to be here today, and it's my pleasure to start this broadcasting in English with Mr. Abdul Kofi Yekin, who is all the way down to Ukraine. No, not Ukraine, I'm sorry, England. And he's here just to talk about ECOWAS, why ECOWAS is still in the same way. And we have more issue and we don't know what to do. Mr. Ali Yekin wrote more books and he's here today to talk to us. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to present you Mr. Ali Yekin. Ali, thank you to be here. And this is Tempo Afrique TV, and it is a good pleasure to have you on my microphone.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you this evening. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to talk about ECOWAS with the European and American imperialists to fight West African with injustice. When talking about that, when taking the subject, what's going to be your take?
Well, the issue of imperialism is not a new thing. We are not the first people to call occupiers people who believe in their mind that we are their property and their destiny is to control our life. It's not new. Americans fought them before. We didn't invent the word imperialists. Americans, in fact, we learned it from Americans when they were fighting with the British Empire. Today, I think it's our turn, because we've been complaining about this thing since 1960, that we are no more colonies and we are no more properties and we are free. But you know, one thing, there are cracks among us. We have our own problem. And that problem, until we address it, everyone is vulnerable. Our leaders are vulnerable. The people are vulnerable. We are vulnerable in every form. Nobody like imperialists, but imperialists can only be defeated if you understand what imperialism and imperialism mean.
But Mr. Yekin, if you're talking about imperialists can be fight, and today we are depend on them, how we can fight, these people.
Imperialists, there are three things imperialists use to control you. There are three things. Imperialists control your politicians. Imperialists control your economy. Imperialists control your technology. These three, unless you understand how they control them, because if you can't control those three, you are not independent. For you to be independent, you must control the tree. Today in West Africa, coup here, coup there, coup there, coup in Burkina Faso, coup in Niger, coup in Mali, coup in Guinea. All of them are saying one thing: the imperialists. And one problem with this concern is that they all see France, all of them. In fact, they tell you France must go away. It is wrong for anyone to be on another people's land in the name of fighting terrorists, and that's where ECOWAS comes in. To tell us that our children are terrorists, they have come from Europe and America to come and kill our terrorists. What is your own problem? Is the terrorists in Europe or terrorists are they in America? Oh, so we are so useless that we can't kill and control our own terrorists. They control terrorists on our land. American soldiers are there, French soldiers are there, German soldiers are there, Belgium soldiers are there, Canadian soldiers. Now NATO headquarters is in West Africa. What have we done? What is their problem? They say Islamic jihadists. We are all jihadists. When you are hungry, you will not sit down for imperialists, for collaborating with our politicians, because they control them. We are not going to.
Do you think that we can have a? Do you think that we have a solution to come out with some idea to get away from imperialism? Because I don't think if we can get away from them, because as you said, the military base is still on our land, and they still control us. And I'm so confused. Is that any solution faster? When you think about Mali chose today Russia to help them, to resolve the issue, but the currency stay still, the same. What kind of solution we can, promote?
The problem, yes, you see, there's crack. There's a crack. And one thing about the imperialists, you see, most of you from the French-speaking country, you thought you are fighting France. You are not fighting France. You are fighting 27 EU countries, because you touch all the 27. Do I make sense? And you are also fighting America because they are allies now. So no one country has a chance. This is why our coup plotters in the past formed the ECOWAS. The ECOWAS were formed by military rulers, by their majority. And because they realize that the coups they are making doesn't solve the problem. When they put sanction on one country, and then they break you down, how do you and then they will now send terrorists after you, who are wearing suits to come and kill you, or sometimes they use military to remove the leaders. So we know, if we understand this, how can Niger alone fight 27? Because they told the France to leave. You remember, in Burkina Faso, they told them to leave. They told France, pack and leave. They told United Nations to pack and leave, because they are the same people in that United Nations, the same people. Then in Guinea, they told them to leave. In Mali, they told them to leave. So this is like they are feeling threatened. We are challenging them, but we need all the 15 countries of West Africa, and we will deal with them. You see, we don't need to fight these people. There's no need to even throw one bullet. If we are organized and tell them to all of them, because you can't tell Wagner to leave and you leave France. What right has France to have military on any part of West Africa? Any part? Tell me what right? Who are they? So you see, the problem is what we should sit down in ECOWAS. Because if Burkina Faso has Wagner on the land, you understand, then Ghanaians will go and call the Americans. Everybody will be calling someone. Then what have we done? We are the problem here. We want everyone to go. When they are coming, they should wear suits like this, like they do in India and China, to respect us. You can't come on our land with weapons. It's totally unacceptable. The colonial time is over. Nobody will try that on us, and we will not accept it. This is our position. Thank God. There is a reason. We are not animals and we are not mad, and we need to let them know we are not stupid, because we need to look at them. They wear suit, we wear suit. They wear tie, we wear tie. We tell them, look at them in the face and ask them, what do they teach their children in school that we don't teach our children in West Africa? Mention one thing. What do they know that we don't know? The only thing is that they are stronger than us. And we will break their back and teach them so that their grandchildren will know that they don't come to our land with weapons anymore. If you come to do business, how do you go to somebody's country to go and do business with weapons? It is wrong. C'est pas that one, c'est pas bon. It's unacceptable, totally unacceptable, totally. We don't even want United Nations. If United Nations is not careful, African Union and United Nations, we will leave them. When we finish sorting ourselves out, we call them to come back. There won't be any war. They are only threatening. There's nothing they will do.
Yes,
we saw what they did in Libya. Okay. When you tell France to go, France has a problem. What is their problem? Who are they?
But who are they? The people who colonize, us. They are the one who can bring, whatever they want. But as you said, ECOWAS has been built, to overcome with the solution. But the way they are doing is a kind of something, it's like they are not cleaning the house before setting up something else. What should be the main role of ECOWAS today?
When you say they who? Who is ECOWAS?
I'm talking about ECOWAS.
Who is ECOWAS?
ECOWAS is West African, army. They
No. ECOWAS is you and I. There is no any other ECOWAS except you and I. The way we see the world is how the world turned out to be. We are the world. When you accept dictators, when you accept these monsters, that is why they treat you like that. We are ECOWAS. There's no ECOWAS. You tell me the decisions they're going to make in that Abuja. The reason why we left Addis Ababa and form our own, right? Because we believe in the ECOWAS of the people. This what we have is not for us. It is for some few people. And we, I'm coming, is Côte d'Ivoire for Alassane Ouattara? And now it's a question. Côte d'Ivoire doesn't belong to him. He is the president of the country, and that's where it stops. When we go to ECOWAS, he alone is not going. All of us have to go there. In Senegal, now they're having misunderstanding, isn't it? Who goes to ECOWAS? Only Macky Sall. What about the rest of the people? This is why we said, let us study the European Union very well. The EU has the same problem like we do. They are different countries. They have different flags. They do different international deals. But there's one thing. The people of Europe, they vote for the members of their European Union Parliament directly. So if you are voting for someone to go to ECOWAS Parliament, that will listen to you. Why do you go to a border across between Ghana and Togo, or Elubo, Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana, and they make your life miserable? Who are you going to tell? ECOWAS say you can freely go. They are on the street, terrorists in uniform, collecting your money. You see, EU have solved this problem. We are not going to go to heaven, or we are not going to meet God, or to tell. We don't need the Pope to tell us what somebody have done right and got it right. I'm coming. Are we animals? Can't we vote? Are we not the same people who are voting for these people in Ghana Parliament, Ivorian Parliament? We vote for that president. We this illiterate, we this useless people, we vote for them to go and sign IMF loan. And every day they tell us we are in debt. They should let us vote for them to go to ECOWAS too. Why should we vote for somebody to go to Ghana Parliament? And from Ghana Parliament, the European Union and the imperialists of America will sit there and decide who will go to ECOWAS Parliament for us. We should choose our own criminals to our own ghettos to go to ECOWAS Parliament.
If I understood, you are telling people how ECOWAS should be today, should be organized to make a better this institution. Am I right?
Absolutely. Remember, it is written in the ECOWAS treaty itself that we should vote. It is written there in the treaty, establish the parliament. But these armed robbers we have are those who are not collaborating with Europeans. They are those who are not making us vote. They are all paid and they are all run by the CIA, and it is time we sort everything out. We will not accept this democracy. What kind of democracy is that? You want people in Cote d'Ivoire to do democracy? They are hungry. You force them. You even attack them when they feel democracy is useless in that country. And then you turn around. The people you say you want them to do democracy, they can't do democracy at the level of ECOWAS. You don't trust them.
Okay.
They don't trust us. They don't believe we have common sense to vote for the right people to go and represent us. If we have people who with Rasta, dreadlock, and they have ganja in their hand, and they are half naked, they only wear pants, and they are those we believe to go and represent us in Abuja, that is what we will choose. Let everyone choose what they like.
Now, you're going to tell to people it's not only the president who's supposed to be there, but most of us are supposed to be at that meeting to see exactly where we're going and where we're coming from.
You see,
you mentioned about democracy, and this is where we are failing sometimes. And you said, since the problem of ECOWAS is not what we call corruption, but the weak institution of the ECOWAS.
Yes.
Talk about the military eventually handing over the ECOWAS legislative body being genuinely democratic will result in the West Africa ensuring in a peace, stability, and prosperity. The time has come. Ensure you join to genuine democracy to make the best of it. Talking about the democracy, is the democracy working for the West African, Mr. Yekin?
Democracy, you see, the question is vague. Is democracy working for West Africa? Democracy where? Democracy where? Which democracy? If you go to America, their democracy is different from British democracy. The British democracy is different from the EU democracy. You understand? The democracy of EU is different from the one in Russia. The one in Russia is different from the one in China. What is important is everyone eating? How many poor people are we taking out of unemployment and giving them jobs? How many cars and aeroplanes are we manufacturing? That is how we will measure this. And remember, decision making in a democratic environment is not for some few dictators. Democracy says there is a principle called the universal adult suffrage.
Tempo Afrique TV.
The universal adult suffrage says that if you are going to give your mandate to anyone to represent you democratically, you, the person must campaign to you, the electorate, directly. Then you will give, there are two offices. In every democratic environment, there are two offices. The legislators, who are lawmakers, and the executives, who are mostly the heads of states. Now, the legislators are lawmakers. Legislature is not one person, while the head of state will be one person. Legislatures are so many people that come from different parts of the constituencies. They get their mandate directly from the people, unless we are running the House of Commons system, where they are there to advise the king, and the king himself is not voted. I don't know what kind of democracy is that one, but it works for them because nobody here sleep on the street. I've not seen anyone in London sleeping on the street. They are living good life. That is their business. I don't even care. We don't care. Chinese can be dictators as that's their business, and their children are doing well. who is telling us to vote in Ghana for someone to go to the parliament in Ghana, and we vote this president they voted for in Nigeria that is leading everybody to go into madness?
Yeah, just let's talk to him, because when he came over, he just want to set up, the military base for ECOWAS to be able to fight with the anti-coup of military. If that
did he campaign to? Who did he campaign to do that? In his campaign, can you show me anywhere where he said when he win as the president of ECOWAS, he's going to lead us into war? Did he say? Tell me where he said that. He said he will solve the problem of Nigerians. He will remove oil subsidy. He will make sure they suffer, and they voted for him. And that is their business. They are demonstrating now. Maybe at the time the election was going on, they were sleeping. That is their business in Nigeria. When you come to ECOWAS, we have 15 heads of states. Their job, they are not lawmakers. And I think that is the biggest problem we have. We don't understand the difference between lawmakers and their mandates, and then executives, those who serve as head of states. They don't make law unless we are running dictatorship. So look at it this way. The lawmakers have not been elected. The ones we have are not lawmakers. They are advisors. Indirectly, they are advisors to the heads of states. Because nobody vote for them directly. They don't. In Ghana, nobody come and stand in front of you to vote for him to go to ECOWAS. Then where are these monsters in ECOWAS parliament coming from? Tell me where. In Cote d'Ivoire, you have 7 seats. You don't even know them.
Yeah, just let's explain it, How many seats Africa should have? How many seats Nigeria should have? How many seats Mali should have? How many seats other countries should have, to make ECOWAS the way it's supposed to be?
Yes. You see, when the parliament was set up, we are very poor, and everybody know our economic situation. So the understanding is that we need a parliament to make laws for West Africans, so that all of us, if we are going to war, how much tax are we going to pay to go to war, and how do we build industries, and how do we free ourselves and prosper and live in peace? How do we attack terrorists within our land? Civil war, how do we deal with it? These are the people the parliament was for, so that they will make laws, and the heads of states will what? Sign it. And then when they agree, it becomes a law, as the EU is doing. When we formed the seat, we said we'll start with 120 seats. 120 seats. That is the total ECOWAS parliamentarians. Of 120 seats, how are we going to share the seats? So we said we are going to first look at how many countries do we have. We have 15 member countries. Whether you are 2 in that country or 3 in that country or 10 million in that, we don't care. Every country will get 5 seats. 5 seats out of 120. When you give 15 countries 5 seats, you have given 75 seats away. No matter what the population of Togo is, Gambia is, Cape Verde is, they will have 5 seats. When we give them the 5 seats, then we will now look at which countries have got more. Then we raise the bar. So if we said, okay, any country with maybe 4 million people, 5 seats, anything, whether it's 4 million or less, 5. But when you have 4 million, now we are raising it to 7 million. At that time, Guinea, Ghana, Senegal, Mali, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, they all had 6 seats, because the new set, 6 million, they have got that number. When they all had 6, then they raised the number again. You understand? Because some is still left. When they raised the number, we were able to have Cote d'Ivoire now have 7. I think Senegal have 7 because their number, but Burkina Faso, I think Guinea could not go more than 6. Do you understand that one? Then, so Ghana had 6, Nigeria had, sorry, they all had 7-7. Nigeria had 7, Cote d'Ivoire has 7, Nigeria has 7, Ghana has 7. So they were those left in the run. Then they raised it again to about 20 million. Cote d'Ivoire was stuck with the 7 because their population was not up to the new level they raised it to. So Ghana had 1 more seat. That made it 8 because Ghana's population is higher than the rest alone. You understand? If they stand each. So Ghana is bigger by population than Cote d'Ivoire. Although by land size, Mali is even bigger than Nigeria. So they had, Ghana had 8. Can you see? Then they raise it again. No matter what they raise, they realize the only one standing is Nigeria with 100 and almost 60 to 70 million. So when the only seat left now is 35. So they gave all to Nigeria. You understand me now? So Nigeria has 35 seats. Ghana follow with 8 seats. Cote d'Ivoire and I think Senegal has 7 seats. And Guinea, Mali, and so on have got 6 seats. And Sierra Leone, Gambia, Togo, Benin Republic, Niger, they all have 5. So we have 120 seats. Now, these 120 seats, each country then have to send people to the parliament. But at the time the seat was ready, most of the countries have military rulers. Democracy was not solid. So it was agreed that whatever way they will send these people to represent them, they should send it so that the seat will not be vacant. And they are paying those they send. Yes. But they will only be advisory by their power. But in future,
but
the seats, when ECOWAS become richer, because the purpose of ECOWAS is to make the people rich, and then the tax they'll get out of the jobs of the people and in the trade between us and our export will then allow ECOWAS to have more money going to projects, education, science, technology, and everything. And then let me land. They would then start increasing the number of parliamentarians because there's more money and we can afford it. And then these parliamentarians, so Cote d'Ivoire may end up with maybe 40. Ghana may have about maybe 50. Nigeria can have about maybe 120. But you see, when you look at the way they share the seats, remember, the French-speaking countries, right? And this is the interesting thing. There are 8 French-speaking countries. 8 French-speaking countries. And we have 2 Portuguese-speaking countries. And we have 5 English-speaking countries. When you put the Nigerian number with Ghanaian number, and then the remaining 3, Sierra Leone and Gambia, that are small together, and you put the 8 of the French-speaking one on one side, they balance themselves. So what you then have is that the Portuguese, they will be those who will be shuttling between us. Can you see? Besides, it's not about what is about one country or the other. It's about what is good for all of us. That is what the parliament is there for. Socialists, for communists, for American sympathizers, for let them all meet like they do in European Union. If you go to EU Parliament, black people are there, Rasta are there. Some people even go to EU Parliament, they wear jeans. They are so radical, they don't comb their hair. They wear t-shirts. They are welcome.
Yeah.
Why do we have a problem?
Yeah, let's go forward. Let's go forward. But when people, when we hear from you, it sounds like there's a failure, for ECOWAS. It seems like ECOWAS failed their own mission, and to come back, to organize ECOWAS to clean their own house. What's going to be the first step? The second is we're talking about Africa, and you mentioned that we are so poor, 54. Countries, and our land are so rich, and also we have a problem of getting our independence, our sovereignty, because the currency we have, as a French people, we don't as the French country speaking, the currency is the currency we own from other country, and we cannot say that we are independence. We are already free. What should we do for Africa to fight and be free today and have his own military base, and nobody can live on the land. I'm talking about a military base from other country.
I think you have to look at something. When you have military, are your military going to use sticks? Where are they going to get the gun from? Are they going to import it from America and Europe or Russia? And we need to be serious. There are three things and three reasons why France control the CFA. Every currency depends on the technology, the politics, and the economy of the society.
That's what you said.
Where the currency is used. What France did very well, which makes sense. And look, the French has given us the understanding that so many countries can use the same currency even in West Africa. That is what they prove to us. Don't you see the negative is there, but when we look at the negative, we also see some positive. If France can control 8 countries, at least in West Africa, and they are spending the same currency, and they all have different heads of states, but they are one economy. If France can make it work, ECOWAS can make that thing work. What do we need? Remember, CFA, I said something, and I want to go back to that thing because you reminded me that I thought that's where we are going to start. I thought we are going to start at Senegal. We will come to that. I thought that is where you want to start, but where we started is at like we are at the end rather than at the beginning. You see, what France is doing in West Africa, France is controlling, using her technology, she's controlling the economy of all the Francophone countries. And to do that, she controls the politicians so that her policies will be working. So the technology of France is what you are depending on, because your economy is dependent. You see, money is just a paper. The power of the economy, power of the technology, the power of the politics of that society put together, the three, is what make an economy stand on its leg. And we should stop thinking of land. Yes, we are lucky. We have very fertile and rich and arable land. We have desert where we can plant any wheat we don't need wheat from Ukraine. We can make Mali, Niger to be like California. We can create a heaven. Look, if you go to Dubai, right? The Europeans have proven that, and the Chinese, with the right technology, there's nothing you can do in this world. So nobody should misunderstand the potential that is there. What we are not able to do is if we start manufacturing our own West Africa made car, that the whole of West Africa, because the parts are in different countries and everybody share to everyone, producing something very seriously, buying not from the World Bank, the loan will come from the ECOWAS currency, and we push these children into the science and technology department, give some of them scholarship, get professors in West Africa to monitor them and control. The professors are wasting away. I promise you, give us 5 years, just 5 years, you will be shocked what you will see on our land. No more and cutlass on our farms. Yes. You will see tractors, you will see cows. The cows you see in Europe, the one you see in Zimbabwe, in America, those big ones that make milk, we will stop importing milk from Europe. They are aware we are not stupid. And they are intensifying because they want to create interdependency. They want to make us depend on them. And we are dependent on them. We cannot afford to do that. What is the use of education? We are educated to be stupid. The ancestors that wake up and look at these imperialists and the colonialists and told them to go, it is education that gave them that confidence.
Okay.
They understood the game.
Mr. Kofi, because we are ahead of the time. Let's talk about a little bit about what's going on in Senegal, where today the democracy is upside down. The president don't know what to do, and today most of our opposing party are in jail. What's going to be your take?
You see, the problem in Senegal is very simple. It's poverty. The problem of Senegal is poverty. 80% is poverty. And poverty is an economic thing. If you cannot afford your basic need, your food, your clothes, your healthcare, your house, and your education, you are messed up. You are totally messed up. 90% of those who are becoming radical in Senegal, it is poverty that is pushing them. You think?
Yes, I can understand you. I can understand you, but in Senegal, we have today, we found out that the land is really rich. You know, we found the, how can I call it?
Which land is rich?
I'm talking about the oil they find in Senegal. They find some oil in Senegal.
My brother, I think we need to learn to talk together.
Yes.
Be patient, be patient. The reason why the colonial master went into the whole world, the imperialists, to conquer everyone, is because of raw material. So when you see oil and you turn around like a man with the brain of an Arab, and you are saying that place is rich, that is not riches. In Japan, they have nothing.
No.
In China, they have nothing.
What I want, let me tell you something. What I want to say, we're talking about this country is rich, but at the head we have, some our president who's supposed to do something, but they are not hand-free. If they are not hand-free and our land is really rich, what do we supposed to do? Because we cannot continuously say Senegal is poor, and we know that we have oil, we know that we have some kind of mineral stuff. We can come out with the idea and make that country, very rich.
I think you don't understand me.
The government fought.
I think you don't understand me. Seriously. And I think we need to speak from the same level.
Okay.
Because we are going back to the old way of talking. And we want to change the narratives. When you say there's oil in Senegal, there is gas in Senegal, it's not today they've been talking about that. When they had problem with Putin, the EU has gone, they've gone and they are taking everything away. A slave owns nothing. The owner of the slave owns what the slave owns. First, let us seek for our freedom. And this is what I'm explaining. We have political freedom. We have economic freedom. And we have technological freedom. And I think you don't understand. Look, when the oil is in the ground, will you stand there and oil will come out? You need technology to bring that oil out. What do you do with oil? Do you drink it? You use oil to fuel a car, to take you from point A to point B. You use gas to warm your house. So, I'm coming. If we can make the car, and we drive our car, and we put our oil in the car, and we go into the ground to remove. In China, they have oil, and they are removing the oil. They are not giving it to anyone. In America, they've got a lot of oil. They are not exporting it. Americans are using it. Why do we want to be rich by selling oil? I think something is wrong with us. We sometimes play into the hand of the colonial. Oh, so when what do we do now? Are you saying there's crude oil in Senegal, so they should go and call the French to come and take it and give them chop money?
No, the way I want you to understand it, we have some leader who cannot do exactly, the work we are waiting for.
The leader
we supposed to do with this leader, because we cannot keep them.
The Senegalese leader is aware of what happened to Gaddafi, and he's not stupid. He's not stupid. No leader is stupid. They know what the imperialists can do to them. You and I are innocent. We can walk on the street. They don't have that chance. Their children are going to school in America and Britain, and very soon they won't be president again. Do you think they will sit down for somebody to treat them the way they are treating Putin? We have to be wiser. See, When we want to create the kind of leadership at the level of ECOWAS, that if that person will fear anyone, he will fear us, the people, not fear Americans. You can't have a leader that is scared of someone. You can't. He's not your leader. If your leader is not scared of you, in fact, our leaders walk like gods. Joe Biden, when he's going, the president of the Union of American States, the man walk like he can't even walk on the floor. The Americans are those who carry him. They believe in their president. Did you see the president of China, Xi Jinping? The man doesn't even like he can't talk. He's so sober. The reason is that he wants his people to believe in him and continue to follow him and give him the chance to make history. You have somebody who is pretending. Somebody, Macky Sall doesn't even sleep in his house. They are scared. They are totally scared. If you know what happened to Gaddafi, they kill him, kill his children. He has about 4 or 5 children. They kill all of them. The only one left, the one that is standing in Libya now, Saif Islam, his 3 hands are gone. Do you want to do that? Do you want that to happen to you? They kill a man and his 3 children, and they put their dead body together at one place to show everyone what they can do.
Okay, Mr. Yekini, I think it's a really good face to face, and let's talk about the last part of this face to face, talking about Niger. The ECOWAS already set up what they want to do. What do you think should be a good solution for us, to get, the way for Africa one day to own its own land?
You see, Africa is a continent. America is a continent. In North America, you have Canada, where you are. You have United States of America, and you have Mexico. They are all a continent like Africa. Americans own America as a nation, a country. Mexicans own Mexico as a country. Canadians own Canada as their country. Why are you wasting your time on a continent? Why are you
asking this question? Where do we start? If we want to start with ECOWAS and get all African states, inside of what we
don't need any African states. What we need, they are already together, the 15 West African states. We want to see how the rest of African continent will sit down for this unfortunate president of Nigeria and Aliou Toure, the president of the ECOWAS Commission, to lead NATO into Niger. Remember, Mali, Burkina Faso have already said it, and Guinea will say it very soon, that when they march
Algeria too, and Mauritania say something too. They're going to come together.
That when they send anyone into Niger, they will all send their soldiers there. They will send because they will declare war. Why should ECOWAS go to this war? Why is our ECOWAS going to be the one to lead NATO to kill West Africans? Why do we want, if they want to go and kill the people of Niger, we want to see the NATO alone to go. Nigerians should not involve themselves. The reason why we send military into countries is because there are civil war. ECOWAS does not, at this point, without the mandate directly from the people, ECOWAS does not have a mandate to go in a country in the name of a coup with military. Never. But when there is a civil war, there is a state of emergency. There is no state of emergency. The president of Niger is under arrest. They have not even killed him. If they are the kind of people I think of, by now his head should be chopped off and sent it to that Abuja. Then they know we are serious. The one in what's the name of that country? Mali. They have not killed the man. He's still there. Burkina Faso, he's there. Guinea, Alpha Conde is still sitting there. In fact, they even let him go to restaurant. So what is the problem?
Thank you, Mr. Kofi. I think we're gonna go for next month or next week. Who knows? Because you have many things to say. And I was asking myself why Mr. Kofi Ali cannot join ECOWAS, to give its own idea. They can listen to you, and we can just build this institution to go forward. Mr. Kofi, it was a pleasure to talk to you. And ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about ECOWAS with the European and American imperialists to fight West African with injustice. And today it was my pleasure to have Mr. Kofi Ali Yekin on my microphone. It's only the way we can talk to our people. Mr. Yekin was here. He talked about how ECOWAS is supposed to be. We're supposed to clean up our house before going to do anything else. Mr. Kofi, what's going to be your final word?
My final word is that we need to all respect each other. And respect means if we want to do democracy, we must be honest about democracy. We must look at each other in the face. You cannot say you are representing me at ECOWAS without my vote. My president in Ghana, I voted for him. And he is one of them. Those ones, they are like, the king of Britain. It doesn't, people say it doesn't do much. When they make their law, he signed for them. You understand? The role of the head of states. In Europe, they're doing the same thing. But when you come to our parliament, parliament must be parliament. And you see, I want our viewers, our voices must be strong. As long as we are quiet and we don't give each other the chance to look at each other in the face and talk from our heart, we will die beggars, we will die slaves. We have the voice. We may not have anything, but in this day of internet, of radio, of everything, we can reach far. And those people who said they are in Abuja, in fact, the president of Ghana lives behind my house. We mobilize people and go and meet them. We just need a voice. What we need is a platform, and we need to work together. Everyone support us and let us take this mantle to the next level. And I promise you, by the time we'll finish the next 10 years, destiny will be changed once and for all. I rest my case.
Mr. Kofi, thank you so much. It was my pleasure, to get in touch with Kofi. Kofi is originally from Ghana, and I think if ECOWAS can also contact Mr. Kofi, we can do more things. Mr. Kofi talked about the three things: politics, economy, and technology. This has been held by imperialism. If we don't own this one, we cannot go forward. We cannot have our own currency, our own sovereignty, and our own independence. When Mr. Kofi said the ECOWAS is in bed with the European and American imperialist institution to fight, to go to war with West African who cannot stand the injustice anymore. It means more things. It means that we have more work to do to set up, ECOWAS before going so far. Thank you to be here, Mr. Kofi. It was a pleasure. Malik was at the other of this production. Then I will talk to you another time. Bye-bye.
Du nouveau à Minneapolis, Tempo Afrique Travel. Vous voulez voyager? Achetez vos billets d'avion à l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel. Avec l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel, pas de problème de connexion, pas de problème de transfert de vol. Avec l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel, c'est le voyage en toute tranquillité, en toute beauté, de votre maison jusqu'à votre destination. Votre satisfaction est notre plaisir.
Votre attention s'il vous plaît. IPTV Services. Tempo Afrique TV vous offre 6000 chaînes de télévision en direct de l'Afrique, de l'Europe et des États-Unis. Toutes vos chaînes de télévision préférées sous un seul toit. Pour des informations, appelez le numéro suivant +1 612 804 02 95 ou allez sur notre site web tempoafrique.com. Achetez maintenant $193 pour toute l'année, plus l'expédition et le TV Box.